Hi, Patterns of Power friends and grammarians.
And fellow educators, welcome. So good to see you.
I'm Holly Durham.
And I'm Travis Leach. And along with Jeff Anderson, we are the co authors of the Patterns of Power secondary books. And we wanted to just share with you today a resource to help extend the work that you're doing with Patterns of Power in your classroom.
Absolutely. And so we've been working with lots of districts and hearing from a lot of districts. And a lot of the needs we're hearing is support and being able to differentiate and make sure that the lessons are very specific to the needs of a district. And so what we've been hearing from middle and high school is really a need for students to recognize sentence boundaries. So to really understand what constitutes a sentence, especially when they start to have more complex sentences. And so since we've heard that, and we know that a lot of people are working on that, we know the best way to do it is to look at a sentence and a fragment together so that students can look comparatively at why would you use a fragment, what is a fragment versus what constitutes a sentence.
Yeah, so the model that we wanted to share with you today is from the book The Running Dream by Wendelin Van Draanen. It's about a teenage runner who loses her leg in a freak accident. And throughout the book, it's her journey coming to terms with that. So the model that we chose says, he pulls the covers off my lap, and I find myself face to face with the truth. My right leg has no foot, no ankle, no shin. And yeah, we chose this model not only for the rich discussion and that kind of very intense opening for students to talk about, but also to really contrast complete sentence versus fragment, putting those next to each other to talk about, extending that into conversations around that. And so we also thought about sharing with you some focus phrases if you wanted to take this beyond and move it into imitation and application with your students, or connect it to a lesson from either the middle or high school book. A focus phrase connected at the middle school level might be, my sentences have a subject and verb, fragments don't. And that connects to either lesson 4.2 or lesson 4.3 in the middle school book.
Absolutely. And of course, high school can borrow that focus phrase if it works for you. In the high school book, it looks a little bit more at our creative patterns and why a student might use a fragment. And so our focus phrase for high school is, I use fragments to increase the impact of certain words or phrases. One of the nice things with that as your focus phrase is it really pops kids into analysis because they're thinking in terms of the use of purposeful fragments. It also allows kids to think in terms of, my right leg has no foot, no ankle, no shin. They could look at that as using a comma, item in a series, versus the fragments, and then you have a very rich conversation about two different conventions and thinking through. So it really lends itself to a lot of rich conversations, which of course is always our goal with Patterns of Power.
Yeah, just a grammar resource for you to use. We hope you have fun with it.
Yeah.
And take care.
Great. Thank you, guys.